When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day in the life of a type 1 diabetic vlog style video. This is my first one on the pump, so I'm going to be showing you how I use the pump throughout the day to help manage my blood sugars hopefully better than when I was on MDI. But yeah, I'm only on about week 3 or 4 of the pump, so we're still kind of experimenting. And if you haven't seen my last couple of videos, I did have COVID for like the first 2 weeks of being on the pump, so that threw everything off. I then got the coil fitted last Wednesday, and that really messed up my blood sugars a lot worse than I thought it was going to, and I'll talk a bit about that later. Yeah, today is still very much a day of experimentation on the pump, even though we are about 3 or 4 weeks in now. So yeah, as you've seen, I already woke up, I went to the gym this morning and had my pre-gym banana and creatine as always. I put in a manual bolus on my pump, so although I do have the option to do a bolus calculation on the pump, which is what I do most of the time for the gym, at the moment I am still putting in a manual bolus because I have specific boluses that I do depending on upper body day or lower body day, and it's easier to just and quicker to just type that in. So I had my normal 1.5 units pre-upper body day. One thing I'm finding is though, since going on the pump, I am going low quite a lot at the gym. So yesterday I went low at the gym, today I also went low at the gym. So I think what I'm going to start doing is a temporary basal of 0% from the moment when I wake up, so hopefully by the time I get to the gym I won't have any basal like still acting, and then hopefully I can avoid those hypos. So yeah, today I did have to cut my session 1 exercise short. I did put on a temporary basal as I started to drop, but obviously that didn't kick in time. I had dextrose, but yes, still wasn't really coming up. So I've got my breakfast in the microwave. I've now walked home. My breakfast is literally what I always eat every single day, which I've shown you in every vlog, which is my protein oats with frozen berries. So yeah, I've just done my scan and it says 4.2. For some reason, yeah, it hasn't really registered my hypos on there, but it came up on my Tomato app and I was feeling the hypo. So I had 2 dextrose in the gym. As you can see, didn't massively come up very much. Breakfast is going to be ready in about 2 minutes. So as I'm not still low, I will do my bolus in advance. My temporary basal rate has now come off and I'm on 1.5 units per hour throughout the whole day, and then overnight I'm on 1 unit per hour, and that seems to work well. The night before last I was on 1.5 like 24/7, and I did go hypo overnight, so I'm glad that I did creep up slightly, but definitely still stayed in range, and I'm very happy with that. So I will do my bolus calculation now and I will just film that for you, and then I will have my oats, get in the shower, and then yeah, I'll come back and explain what life has been like and how the resistance and sensitivity fluctuations have affected me in the last kind of month or so through COVID and the coil and all that stuff.
With you and I, the future is bright. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through, no limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we...
So I've got like another day left on my pump site, but it's starting to kind of peel away here. It's still stuck on pretty good, I would say, but I don't know if that will last my gym session tomorrow. So I have bought some skin tack wipes, so I thought I would try one of those. I'm just going to rub it like in between, obviously, like where I can, to hopefully help it stick and then see if it actually works. And yeah, if I can make it through to the end of my leg session tomorrow without having to do an emergency site change. So wish me luck. So I completely forgot to be keeping an eye on my blood sugars, because yeah, normally if I'm low after my workout, I do a conservative dose for my breakfast and then keep an eye on it, and then if I need any more insulin, I will then take that insulin later. But yeah, I completely forgot. I was in a meeting for a long time, and I'm now off the meeting and I'm 11.2, so I had intended to do more insulin on top of those 4 units. Normally after an upper body day I need between 5 and 6, so yeah, like I said, I'm 11.2. I popped it into my pump and that is saying to do 1.6 units of bolus, so I'm going to do that now. Just clicked and it's going in, so hopefully that will come into effect pretty quickly. But yeah, I 100% know that was my fault. I know the reasons for that, and so I'm not worried about that high at all. And yeah, the skin tack has worked really well. It's really sticky. I don't know, obviously that's the whole point of it, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite so sticky. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm very impressed with the skin tack. My pump is now securely on and I'm just going to carry on with work until lunch. So it is now about 12:40. I'm planning on having my lunch at around 1 o'clock, so it's about pre-bolus time now. I've just scanned, I'm 8.9, so yeah, that correction came in, you can't see that because it won't focus, but correction came in very handy, currently at 86% in target, which I'm really happy with given the last few days. And yeah, one thing I love about the pump is that obviously it will store the information about that earlier 1.6 units that I had, and so take that into consideration when I do my bolus for this one, which is great because I don't have to do any kind of calculations to work out insulin on board. So I'm going to put that in my pump now, and then what I'll do is I'm going to do an extended bolus because I'm going to go for a walk after lunch. I do this every weekday just to keep my insulin sensitivity nice and high while I'm otherwise sat down doing work. So my lunch is going to be 2 bagel thins with some vegetarian like fake chicken, and then I've got some vegetable sticks, and then I'm gonna have some tangerines. So carbs for that are 40 grams of carb. I tend to have 2 units straight up, potentially 2.5 because I'm still a little bit on the higher end, and I'll do about a 10 to 15 minute pre-bolus, and then I have the rest of the dose to go over the next 2.5 hours. So then that avoids me going low when I'm on my walk, but then I don't have to worry about then doing another injection or another bolus when I get back home because I've already programmed it into my pump. I'm already receiving the insulin slowly, yeah, over 2.5 hours, so I will do that now.
Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
So I've gone high, which is annoying. So it's about 2:45 now. Basically I waited a bit longer after lunch to go on my walk than I planned, so that didn't help things, and I ended up, while I was on my walk, I still had 1.09 units left of insulin to come on my delayed bolus, but I decided to cancel that and just do a new bolus, and I did 1.6 units because I'd gone up to about 10 while I was partway on my walk. So I just had those extra units to help bring it back down, but I got back like 45 minutes ago and I'm still going up. I don't know exactly what I am right now because my Libra has just finished and I'm waiting for the new one to warm up, but on my Meow Meow it says 14.5, which is so annoying because obviously you saw I've been having a pretty rough time of it the last few weeks. I had a really good day yesterday and I thought we were on track for a good day today, but so what I'm going to do, but while I did my bolus when I was on my walk, it did say that it said there's an issue delivering the bolus, either the device is too far away from the pump or the pump battery has gone in my reservoir, and it said hold the pump near and try again, and I tried again and it said the bolus went through. So I'm going to do 1 unit of correction now and see if it goes through. If not, I'll do a reservoir change, but if it does go through, it may mean that I just need to alter my basal again. So obviously yesterday went really well, but that was after a leg day, which is quite a lot more intense than today was my upper body day. So it may be now that I'm kind of back to normal routine, I can finally work out the difference between my upper body versus lower body basal rates. But let's deliver this bolus. I'm 17.8. It hasn't come down. It's now 4 p.m. I did try and like look at the reservoir and see if it was okay, but I can't really tell, and I am due to change the reservoir today or tomorrow morning, and I'm just going to change it now, and hope that brings me down. I honestly don't know. This is the only thing about the pump, is that when you're high, and it's unexpected, you don't know whether it's just your body is doing something weird or if the tech has failed. That's one thing that, like, every single time I go high, I worry that, yeah, that the reservoir's wrong, the infusion site's wrong. So I know the cannula's fine, I'm going to change the reservoir. Hope it's just that. I did end up putting my basal up to 150%, and still haven't come down. Obviously I know it takes a little while to kick in, but yeah, I do have the option to change my reservoir today anyway, and I'd just rather do it because I want to eliminate all possibilities as to why I'm high, and I just really want to get down quickly, because it's just so frustrating when you have a couple of good days in a row and you think you're finally there and then you're not. So let's just change this reservoir. Changed my infusion site and an hour ago, and I did 3 units of bolus correction when I was 17. My pump was recommending 1.5 because I had some insulin on board, but I overruled it and doubled it, and I'm just currently walking around my flat feeling like absolute crap because I'm 20 and I'm just really angry and I want to know why I'm high. I don't know what's gone wrong. I did exactly the same as what I did yesterday. Even if my basal wasn't high enough from leg day compared to upper body day, like, it shouldn't be that different. Like, when I was on Levomit, it wasn't that different. And so you can probably hear the high anger coming through my voice because I'm just so angry. I've been high since lunch. I had such a good day yesterday, and I thought I was over these hurdles, and I just don't know why I've, like, shot up. I don't think it's the pump because my infusion site is fine. I changed my reservoir. I know it's only been an hour, but surely at least some of the correction doses that I've had should be coming into effect by now. I'm really hungry because normally I have an afternoon snack, and obviously I haven't been able to have any food because I've just kept going higher and higher and higher, and I just want to eat my dinner, but I'm 20. I haven't been this high in so long. Well, I have, to be fair, since I've had COVID, and since I've changed the pump, getting used to things like my old high blood sugar would be like 12 or 13, and now it's just really hard when you're going through that transition phase going onto the pump. You have to kind of let yourself be okay with being less in range than normal and not having as good control as normal, because obviously it's new technology and you have to give yourself grace and you have to understand that you're going through a transition and that things are going to take a while to get used to. But it's so frustrating when I'm just not used to being this high. I feel terrible. I feel really thirsty. Obviously, as you can tell, I feel very irritated, and I just want it fixed. Like, why can't something that works one day work the next day? Like, yesterday I was like 94% in range, and today I'm 20. Not 20% in range, but my blood sugars are 20, and I don't understand why, and I just want it to come down. And I normally like my videos to be positive, but I just want to show, like, this is the reality of type 1 diabetes. You do the same thing 2 days in a row, and it just makes you crazy. So I'm going to stop recording myself walking around now, because I don't want to rant too much, and I need to work out what I'm going to do. I put my basal up now to 250%, and we'll see what happens. I feel so tired from this high. I can't even tell you. My eyes just want to close. So after that last clip of me walking around being super angry, I then had a full-on tantrum. I screamed into a pillow, cried, did a lot of yelling. And then finally James managed to get me out on a walk to help bring the blood sugars down. I walked like 10 minutes. Obviously they still didn't start to come down by then, but I was just so frustrated. I got a bit more angry. And then I decided to do another correction, because then I figured I may as well correct while I'm on my walk, and then normally if I correct while I'm walking or doing light movement, the correction kicks in a lot faster. And I knew that at that point I was 23. I knew that even if I was insulin stacking, from the previous insulin that I'd had, I still hadn't had enough to get me within range, and I knew I was also going to be having dinner, so there's like, well, hopefully we'll be having dinner soon after, so there wasn't really like a risk of me going hypo. So I did 5 units on my walk, carried on walking for a bit longer, thankfully now. So we walked from about 5 till 5:30. It's now about 6:30 and I'm 13.3 and dropping quickly. So I think what happened was that error message that came up about my reservoir while I was on my walk the first time I tried to bolus, like I said, I then tried again and it went through completely fine, but I think it must have not been fine because I can't think of anything to explain me skyrocketing to 23. Like, even if I needed a bit extra basal for upper body compared to leg day, there's no way it would have made me skyrocket that high, especially since I didn't eat anything. The only thing I can think of is that I didn't get my second dose for lunch, plus I wasn't having any basal. Like, that's surely the only thing that could send me that high, even with and not let any corrections be effective. So that's where we're at now. I've just done bolus for dinner, so we're going to eat in about 15 minutes. And although obviously I'm 13.3, I have got a lot of insulin on board now, and it is dropping quickly. It's been a long time since I did that correction, and I'm also just really hungry, and I just need some energy. So yeah, luckily, thank God for the pump. Obviously it stored all the data from the correction I did, and then I put in the carbs and my current blood sugar, and it's done a calculation for me, and I've just done what it says. It could be a bit interesting though, because normally I always walk after dinner and I do a multi-wave bolus like I did for lunch, and normally it does work when the reservoir doesn't fail, but today I don't think I will do a walk after dinner because I did one before dinner, and I've actually got so much that I need to get done over the next few days, that I don't know if I'll be able to go on one after dinner as well. So I've done all of my dose in one as just like a standard dose, and then if I do decide to go for a walk, I'm also going to have dessert later, so I will just eat my dessert and then adjust my insulin for that and go on the walk. So it doesn't mean that I can't go on a walk, it just means that I'm planning not to. And yeah, so then after dinner I can get on with doing stuff that I need to do, like clean the fridge before my family come and visit this weekend. So that's all done, but I thought while my dinner is just finishing off being cooked, I would also talk to you about what I said I was going to mention about COVID and the pill. So I won't go into massive detail about how COVID affected me now, because I talked about that in my last video, which was a Q&A, and also the video before that. But just as a brief overview, I had a couple of nights where I was extremely resistant to insulin. No amount of insulin would bring me down, and yes, I did check my pump was working, and all of that, and that wasn't the issue. It was extreme resistance. I then became quite sensitive for about 3 days, and then after that I then became slightly more resistant, not from the infection but because I was in isolation, couldn't go to the gym like normal, couldn't walk around and get steps in like normal, so just like mild resistance from that, until I could then, I did account for it with insulin, but it did still affect me quite a lot because I'm normally very active, and then after that I went back to the gym. That was good, and I was in the gym for 2 days before I then, and had good blood sugars before I then went to get the coil fitted. I got the non-hormonal coil. I was expecting it to maybe give me a slight spike from the stress, but it was absolutely bananas what that did to my blood sugars. I was also not warned about the level of pain. Like, I was told it was going to be a bit painful, but I have never experienced that level of pain. Like, I was literally writhing in my bed, like I couldn't see, I was in so much pain. Luckily, so that was, the appointment was fine, my blood sugars were fine, and the pain started as I started to walk home, and my blood sugars shot up. I kept doing corrections and they wouldn't come down, obviously from all the pain. Luckily that only lasted a couple of hours, but then I was still very elevated for the rest of that day because I got done in the morning. Overnight I was very elevated, even being on 200% basal, and yeah, the next morning I was quite elevated, and then suddenly it was like a switch went off at about midday on the Thursday. So I got my coil fitted on the Wednesday, midday on the Thursday I became super sensitive. Then I also got a period, which I wasn't expecting to have, which was brought on by the coil, and normally, yeah, my periods do make me very sensitive. So then I was very sensitive for about 2 days until Friday, and then I got a bit more resistant again as my hormones were trying to rebalance. So then I had quite a tricky day Friday evening, and Saturday afternoon, and then by Sunday I got all of my ratios sorted. Well, we think my basal rates. I had a really good day Sunday, a really good day yesterday, which was Monday. Basal seems to be working as it should be, and then yeah, today was going great until I had my problem with my reservoir. So I'm hoping that's what it was and that I'm not having more fluctuations, because I would quite like to just have my basal rate sorted by now, because obviously yeah, got the pump, got COVID, that affected me for 2 weeks, and the coils affected me for a week, and I'm now like week 3 of the pump, and still I'm a little bit lost with where I'm actually at in terms of my baseline. And I'm also aware that the coil can affect my body for quite a few months to come. I spoke to a couple of other girls that have had it, who are type 1. One girl told me she was insulin resistant for a month. So we'll see where we go from here. But yeah, I feel like there's just so many balls in the air at the moment, so many different things to consider. And yeah, the reason I got so upset at this high mainly was because if I know the reason why I'm high, I'm fine, I'll just deal with it. Know that it's probably my fault if I've just carb counted incorrectly, but when you do everything as normal, you do everything the same as the day before, and you can't work out why you're high, that's when I get super frustrated, mainly because it's like a panic thing, like when am I gonna not be high. So that's where we're at. I'll show you my dinner when it's ready. It also doesn't help that while I'm having all of these fluctuations, I haven't slept through the night since Monday, when I got my pump, so 3 weeks ago I haven't slept through the night. So I've been woken up by alarms every single night, until last night I finally slept through the night for the first time. But obviously my lack of sleep is definitely catching up to me, and I could just do with like a solid week of good sleeps would be nice.
You and I can weather any storm.
Surprise, surprise, the rage bolus made me low. That's no news to anybody. We were all expecting it. I was just in denial. So I'm gonna have my dessert now. I'm gonna have pain au chocolat. Probably not gonna go for a walk. I'm really, really tired anyway, so I just need to get on with cleaning the fridge, eating my pain au chocolat, and watching Grey's Anatomy. This is a day old, so I'm gonna put a splash of water on it, put it in the microwave. Lovely warm pain au chocolat, and it's gonna make me happy. I'm sat in the dark watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, trying to feel a bit better. Fridge cleaning did not happen. I'm just absolutely exhausted and so tired after that massive blood sugar swing. How ridiculous is that fall? Like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with me and my body and the calculations I was doing. It was the reservoir. It's like I have 3 weeks where I can't get stable because my body is messing me up with COVID, the coil, and then a period, and then finally my body sorts itself out, and then the tech decides to die on me. So not feeling the diabetes love right now, but yeah, I'm 5.1 and I am kind of so I'm still tracking macros. If I haven't kind of spoken about this in a little while, but yes, I am tracking macros because I want to build some muscle. And I have kind of hit my macros for the day, but when I'm building muscle I don't worry too much about going over, and I just want some comfort food. I'm a little bit hungry still, I think, from just the stress. And yeah, my dinner and my snack weren't too voluminous, they were very like calorie dense, and yeah, I'm hungry, so I'm just gonna eat. And I'm really craving my milk chocolate coated little mini rice cakes. I love them so much. I eat rice cakes in so many different forms, and to be honest, what I'm really craving is a mini roll, but we don't have any and I'm way too tired to go and buy any. So the next best chocolatey kind of thing is my rice cakes, so I'm gonna have those. They're 13 grams of carb. I'm gonna put my blood sugar and my carbs into my pump, and yeah, although it did kind of mess me about today, at least it kind of did give me a bit of a warning with that first warning thing. Annoyingly, it did then say it was fine, but clearly it wasn't. But I'm still in love with my pump. You know, it's been 3 weeks. It's kind of the first technical hitch, and that skin tack has really made it stay on. It's completely flat against my stomach now. It's really, really stuck there, so that's gonna be interesting to get it off. That is it for this video. Yeah, it was not the ideal date to film because there's a lot of, I feel like there can be quite a lot of feelings of shame around diabetes and stuff, and it's not nice to share the bad days, but also I want to show what a realistic day is as a diabetic. Like, tech can fail, it can become distracting, it can give you very intense mood swings, and it can make you completely exhausted. So this is just the reality, and yeah, good job I had good sugars before that tech failed, because I'm still 67% in target, which isn't what I aim for, but I've been in target the whole time other than that mishap. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Hopefully, oh my goodness me, it will be a better vlog than this one. See you later.